like sharp minds. Brewed hot, sure bra. No sugar, no filter. Sip, think, repeat, repeat.
All right, so we've got quite a bit to unpack today with all this material.
Yeah, we do.
Covering all the recent pop culture news and then looking ahead to the spring-summer cruise collections.
Yeah.
And this growing trend we're seeing of these collaborations between luxury brands and artists.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it might seem like a lot, but honestly, there are some pretty fascinating connections between all of this.
Oh, absolutely.
That we can kind of tease out and explore.
Yes.
To give everyone, I think, a clearer picture of what's happening in these interconnected worlds.
Definitely. And it is a very, very vibrant landscape right now.
Yeah.
And it really strikes me how these different creative spheres, from entertainment, high fashion, and fine art are increasingly informing one another.
Yeah.
I think it's a reflection of a broader cultural kind of fluidity where ideas and influences are constantly in motion.
Exactly. And so first up, I think we should take a look at some of the big pop culture moments from June 2024, just to kind of set the scene.
Give us that context.
Yeah, exactly. Give us that context.
Yeah.
We're talking film releases.
Yeah.
A big TV show came back.
Right.
New music.
Yeah.
Some of the trends in streaming, the ever-evolving worlds of K-pop.
Yes.
And K-dramas.
Of course.
And even a huge musical event that happens every year in France.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, this I think is really important because it provides us with that immediate cultural context. The conversations and excitements that are happening right now.
Right.
It's the backdrop against which these new fashion collections are being conceived and these artistic partnerships are taking shape.
Yeah. So let's start with movies Venom. The Last Dance. The trailer just dropped.
Oh, wow.
This is supposed to be the final film.
Okay.
Starring Tom Hardy as Venom.
All right.
Reactions online seem to be really split.
Yeah.
Some people seem super excited by it. Others seem a little unsure of what to make of it. But the one thing that has really got people talking is this hint of a potential modern ballet sequence.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what to make of that, but it has people talking.
Yeah. I mean, that's so interesting, that division in audience response, right? We see it often with these long-running franchises, that are trying to kind of inject novelty and do something new and different.
Yeah.
But the ballet element is certainly unexpected.
It is.
And it makes you wonder about this tightrope walk that these big productions face, right?
Yeah.
How to innovate enough to keep things fresh.
Right.
But without straying too far from what made the series popular in the first place. It's a gamble that could revitalize a franchise, or it could alienate the core audience.
Yeah, big time. Okay, so moving on to television.
Okay.
Season 2 of House of the Dragon premiered, and it sounds like it's just more Targaryen family drama with even more dragons.
More dragons.
And those wonderfully complex storylines that everybody loves.
Oh, I love.
Critics seem to be pretty much in agreement that the special effects are impressive and the performances are really strong.
Yeah, I mean, the continued success of House of the Dragon really underscores our ongoing fascination, I think, with these epic fantasy narratives that are brought to life with these really high production values. And if we think about how this connects, to what we're talking about today, the level of visual storytelling that we've come to expect from these streaming series, with their almost cinematic quality, it likely influences our expectations.
Oh, absolutely.
For visual presentation in other areas, the elaborate staging of these fashion shows.
Totally. Yeah, totally. All right, so let's switch to music.
Okay.
Lady Gaga is making a comeback sooner than some fans anticipated.
Okay.
With her 6th studio album.
Right.
And there's a lot of buzz around this because the sound is being described as like a really interesting mix of electro jazz and classical influences.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what she's come up with.
Yeah, that kind of genre bending, I think, is quite characteristic of contemporary music trends, Yeah. Artists are really increasingly exploring fusions of styles, to create something new and engaging.
Yeah.
for an artist like Lady Gaga, who already has such a strong pop foundation,
Right.
incorporating these elements of jazz and classical could lead to a very, very rich and layered sound that I think would appeal to a broad range of musical tastes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this next one is really interesting.
Okay.
For anyone who's into both streaming and fashion,
Okay.
Becoming Karl Lagerfeld is now streaming on Disney+.
Okay.
And this series is set in the 1970s, and it chronicles the rise of Karl Lagerfeld in the fashion world.
Okay.
And apparently the costumes are incredibly detailed.
Oh, wow.
And it offers this really fascinating peek into how he became such a huge icon.
Well, this is fascinating because this series really provides a valuable look, I think, at the kind of formative years of a true fashion visionary. And you know, by understanding Lagerfeld's journey, his influences, the challenges he faced early on, you can gain, I think, a deeper appreciation for the evolution of the luxury fashion industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And really the impact of, you know, individual creative genius. And the focus on costumes also highlights how integral visual presentation is to the fashion world, both on screen and off.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so for those of you who follow K-pop,
Yes.
NCT Dream continued the Dream Show 3 with a stop in Hong Kong on June 16th.
Okay.
And June was also packed with new music from major groups. NewJeans released a double single House Sweet and Bubblegum
Right.
on June 21st, and Red Velvet dropped Cosmic on June 24th.
I mean, the global influence and the incredibly dedicated fan bases of these K-pop acts
It's huge.
are undeniable forces in pop culture. I mean, their concerts, their new releases, they generate enormous excitement and often set trends, you know, in fashion and beauty, even language.
Absolutely.
You know, making them significant players, I think, in the broader cultural landscape that we're examining.
Yeah, big time. Okay, so over to K-dramas now. The new series called Hierarchy seems to be making a lot of noise.
Really?
It's a drama that centers on the really intense power dynamics
Wow.
within an elite high school. And it focuses on the social hierarchy and the really fierce competition among the students.
Well, the appeal of K-dramas often lies in their ability, I think, to delve into these kind of universal themes, right?
Yeah.
Ambition, rivalry, the complexities of social structures,
Right.
but all within a specific cultural context that feels both familiar and intriguing to a global audience.
Yeah.
And I think Hierarchy's focus on the lives of these privileged youth and the intense pressures they face
Yeah.
seems to be really striking a chord with viewers.
Yeah, for sure. And to wrap up our little pop culture snapshot,
Okay.
the Fête de la Musique is happening on June 21st, all across France. It's this amazing event with free concerts that span all sorts of musical genres.
Wonderful.
And it's really a fantastic opportunity to discover new artists.
Yeah, I love that this kind of widespread celebration of music really emphasizes its fundamental role, I think, in society as a source of joy, as a means of expression,
Right.
and a way to bring communities together.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to think about how these diverse musical expressions might also find their way into influencing other creative fields,
Absolutely.
including fashion and art.
For sure. Okay, so as you can see, June 2024 was a pretty packed month in pop culture.
Yeah, it was.
But now let's turn to the world of high fashion with a look at the spring-summer cruise collections for 2025.
Okay, let's do
We're
it.
going to hit the highlights from Chanel in Marseille,
Nice.
Gucci in London,
Great.
Louis Vuitton in Barcelona, Balenciaga in Shanghai,
All right.
and Dior in the Scottish countryside.
Wow.
And we'll look at the key themes and the locations and kind of what stood out from each show.
The cruise collections are always so fascinating because they often present this kind of more relaxed and aspirational vision, you know, from these major fashion houses,
Right.
hinting at trends that will likely permeate the main seasonal collections.
Right.
And as you mentioned, the choice of location for each show is never arbitrary.
Never.
It adds another layer of meaning and narrative to the collection.
For sure. For sure. All right, so let's start with Chanel's show in Marseille.
Okay.
It was held on the rooftop of Le Corbusier's iconic Cité Radieuse.
Wow.
And Virginie Viard's collection took inspiration from that kind of laid-back Mediterranean vibe of Marseille.
Okay.
There were a lot of those colorful tweed suits that are so Chanel.
Yeah.
Some chic athletic swimwear.
Oh.
Really cool nautical-inspired pieces.
I love that.
And, of course, tons of celebs were there. Lily Rose Depp, Sadie Sink.
Of course.
And the whole atmosphere seems really sunny and relaxed.
Yeah.
And it ended with a sunset reception overlooking the city.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it sounds magical.
Yeah, that placing of Chanel's signature elegance, right? Against the backdrop of Le Corbusier's, modernist architecture.
Yeah.
And the casual energy of Marseille was a really interesting contrast.
Yeah.
It suggests, I think, a desire to broaden the brand's appeal, perhaps, reaching a younger, more active demographic,
Right.
while still staying true to that core aesthetic. And the nautical touches, of course, directly relate to the idea of a cruise collection, right?
Okay.
But with a distinctly contemporary feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next we travel to London for Gucci.
Okay.
Sabato de Sarno chose the Tate Modern's tanks,
Okay.
which they transformed into this like indoor garden
Oh.
to showcase the collection. And the theme seemed to be this exploration of the tension between structure and extravagance,
Okay.
with workwear elements mixed with those more like couture pieces.
Interesting.
And the front row was just packed with stars. Salma Hayek, Pinot Dua Lipa, Demi Moore,
Wow.
and reportedly Lee No from Stray Kids.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And the ambiance was really striking. They had all this lush greenery against the raw concrete of the tanks.
Yeah.
And floral motifs appeared throughout the collection, from these pleated dresses to oversized leather jackets.
Well, staging the show at the Tate Modern, right,
Yeah.
which is a space dedicated to modern and contemporary art,
Right.
clearly signals Gucci's ongoing dialogue with the art world. And de Sarno's exploration of that contrast between rigor and extravagance
Right.
feels very relevant, I think,
Yeah.
to current fashion trends that blend practicality with those high fashion aspirations.
Right.
And the presence of K-pop star Lee, again, highlights the significant global influence
It is.
of Korean entertainment on the luxury market.
Yeah.
These appearances are definitely strategic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so now let's head to Barcelona.
Okay.
For Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
Nicolas Guesquier presented his collection at the stunning Park Grill, really weaving in Spanish cultural elements through these rich textures
Beautiful.
and intricate details. And some of the key looks included these really sharp tailored suit jackets, elegant off-the-shoulder dresses, and some really eye-catching footwear.
Wow.
And among the guests were Ana de Armas
Of course.
and Felix, also from Stray Kids.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the show seemed to be this really beautiful blend of creative vision and Catalan culture,
Yeah.
enhanced by this really immersive soundtrack within the park's magical setting.
Yeah, Guesquier's choice of Park Güell, with its whimsical and architectural wonders by Gaudí,
Yeah,
really draws a direct line between fashion and art history.
totally.
And the integration of these Spanish cultural references demonstrates, I think,
Yeah,
a growing trend where luxury brands are looking to local aesthetics
Yep.
for inspiration when presenting these cruise collections, creating a stronger sense of place and cultural connection.
right.
And once again, the presence of a K-pop star,
Mm-hmm.
this time Felix, reinforces the importance of this demographic in the luxury sphere.
For sure. Okay, our next stop is Shanghai for Balenciaga.
All right.
Dengna Givasalya's show at the Pudong Museum of Art
Okay.
featured pieces that really pushed the boundaries, you
Yeah.
know, with these experimental materials and really bold, often unexpected silhouettes. Michelle Yeoh made quite a statement in a chainmail dress.
Wow.
Yeah, and the atmosphere was really dramatic, apparently with rain, adding to that kind of avant-garde feel of the show.
Interesting.
Yeah, the presentation was carefully choreographed, followed by a reception where guests could get a closer look at the designs.
Well, Balenciaga, under Givasalya, is known for its willingness to really challenge conventions, right?
Yeah.
And push the envelope of what luxury fashion can be.
Right.
And the use of those experimental materials and the strong, almost sculptural silhouettes are really hallmarks, I think, of the brand's current kind of avant-garde identity. And presenting in Shanghai at the Pudong Museum of Art underscores the immense importance of the Asian market.
For luxury brands, and provides this very striking modern backdrop
Yeah.
for their innovative designs.
Yeah.
And the rainy conditions actually seem to kind of amplify the drama
It does.
and that unconventionality of the collection.
Totally. Yeah. All right. And finally, we arrived in the Scottish countryside.
Yeah.
For Dior, Maria Grazia Chiuri presented her collection in the gardens of Drummond Castle,
Wow.
drawing inspiration from Mary, Queen of Scots.
Interesting.
And the collection featured these medieval-inspired silhouettes
Okay.
alongside punk elements, creating a really interesting juxtaposition.
I like it.
Yeah, and notable guests included Jennifer Lawrence
That likes of chunk.
and Maisie Williams. And the ambiance was described as both romantic and dramatic.
Yeah.
Complete with a bagpipe soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The show began in these formal gardens, and then there was a reception afterward.
Right.
Where attendees, and it mentions possibly some K-pop figures, could kind of appreciate the creations up close. Well, Kiri's work for Dior often explores these historical and feminist themes, right? Mm-hmm. And this collection, drawing inspiration from a powerful historical figure like Mary Queen of Scots,
right,
and blending it with the rebellious energy of punk, creates a very potent and thought-provoking statement.
It does.
And the Scottish setting, and the use of that traditional bagpipe music, really further enrich that narrative. And even in this more historically rooted and geographically specific setting, the potential presence of these K-pop figures really speaks to their widespread influence across the entire luxury landscape.
Yeah, it really does. It's truly fascinating how each of these collections, while very much reflecting the individual brand's, core identity, also seems to be tapping into these broader cultural conversations and engaging with these specific local contexts.
Yeah.
So now let's move on to something that's become really prevalent and interesting. These collaborations between luxury brands and contemporary artists.
Yes.
And we want to kind of explore, the reasons behind these partnerships.
Okay.
And look at some notable examples, like Louis Vuitton with Yayoi Kusama, Dior with Daniel Arsham, and Gucci with Dapper Dan.
Of course.
And really our goal here is to understand both the creative and the economic forces at play.
Right. And I think these collaborations really signify a shift in how luxury brands are positioning themselves. Mm-hmm. They're moving beyond simply creating these desirable objects to actively engaging with the broader cultural landscape and blurring those traditional boundaries between fashion, art, and commerce in really interesting ways.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And these partnerships really do bring together the worlds of art and fashion, resulting in these unique and innovative pieces that appeal to both fashion aficionados and art enthusiasts, and for the brands. It's a way to gain some fresh, creative perspectives and connect with a wider audience.
It's really interesting, the kind of creative synergy that can emerge when you bring two distinct artistic visions together.
Right.
The artists often bring this unique perspective that challenges maybe the established aesthetic of the fashion house, while the brands, offer the artists a new platform and a broader reach for their work.
For sure. For sure. And what about the impact on the economic and cultural fronts?
Yeah. So economically, these collaborations often result in these highly coveted limited edition products that can command these, premium prices and generate, significant buzz, which ultimately strengthens the brand's market position culturally. They can really elevate fashion beyond just functional clothing, imbuing it with artistic significance and sparking these discussions about creativity and value and cultural meaning.
For sure. Okay, so let's dive into some of those notable examples that you mentioned.
Okay.
First up, Louis Vuitton's collaborations with Yayoi Kusama.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw her signature polka dot motifs integrated into Louis Vuitton's iconic bags and accessories.
Yes.
It was a really striking fusion of avant-garde art and classic luxury design.
I mean, that collaboration was particularly memorable because Kusama's artwork,
it's so recognizable.
It's so instantly recognizable and visually impactful.
Right.
And it translated so seamlessly onto Louis Vuitton's, established designs.
Right.
And it really demonstrated how a strong artistic vision could be successfully brought into a commercial fashion context.
Right.
And it appealed to both serious art collectors and these fashion-conscious consumers.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And then there was Dior's partnership with Daniel Arsham.
Yes.
He incorporated his future relic aesthetic into Dior's street displays and events, creating these really immersive and thought-provoking customer experiences.
Yeah. And that one was less about specific products, right? And more about creating an overall environment.
Right.
A really memorable experience for the consumer.
Yeah.
And this highlights a growing trend, I think, in retail where brands are really using art to transform the shopping experience into something more engaging and culturally resonant. Moving beyond these traditional transactional spaces.
Yeah, for sure. And then finally, the collaboration between Gucci and Dapper Dan.
Yes.
I mean, this was huge.
Yeah.
It reinterpreted Gucci's iconic pieces through Dapper Dan's unique kind of Harlem lens.
Yes.
Bringing that streetwear influence to high fashion.
Yeah.
And really acknowledging the impact of urban culture.
And I think that partnership was groundbreaking in its recognition of the profound influence of street style and Black culture on high fashion. And it wasn't just about inspiration. It was a true collaboration that honored Dapper Dan's legacy. Right.
And brought his distinct vision directly into the Gucci design process.
Yeah.
And it resonated very, very powerfully with a diverse global audience.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's the process behind these collaborations?
Yeah.
How do they actually come to life?
Well, it often begins, I think, with a shared creative vision between the brand's creative director and the artist.
Right.
Or sometimes it's a more strategic decision by the brand to tap into a particular artistic style or audience.
Yeah.
But the process involves a lot of dialogue between the creative teams to find that right way to blend the brand's, established identity with the artist's unique vision.
Right.
And then, of course, there's the significant logistical hurdles of design, production, and marketing to bring these collaborative pieces to market.
Of course. And what has been the general public reaction to these collaborations?
For the most part, they tend to generate a lot of excitement,
Yeah.
positive buzz.
They offer something new and visually interesting.
Yeah.
And fans often appreciate seeing, their favorite brands and artists come together in these unexpected ways.
Right.
However, there can sometimes be, a degree of criticism concerning the potential for over-commercialization of art.
Yeah.
With some questioning whether these partnerships might dilute the artist's original intent or simply serve as marketing tactics for the brands.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any emerging trends in these collaborations that you've noticed?
Definitely. I think we're seeing a growing number of collaborations with digital artists and online content creators, which really reflects the increasing importance of the digital space in both art and fashion.
Yeah.
And looking ahead, it wouldn't be surprising to see even more unexpected pairings, perhaps involving musicians, street artists, or even designers from the video game world.
Wow.
Potentially leading to entirely new formats like virtual fashion shows within the metaverse.
Wow. So ultimately, it sounds like these collaborations are more than just clever marketing.
Oh, yeah.
They represent this real merging of creative worlds.
Yes.
With significant cultural and economic implications.
Precisely. They enrich both the art world and the fashion industry by opening up these new avenues for creative expression and driving economic growth. And they challenge our traditional notions of what fashion can be and blur the lines between these different creative disciplines, often resulting in pieces that go beyond these fleeting trends and become these culturally significant artifacts.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive today, you can really see how dynamic and interconnected the worlds of pop culture and luxury fashion are.
They are.
From the excitement around upcoming entertainment to the spectacle of the cruise collections and these fascinating partnerships between artists and brands.
Yes.
It's this constant cycle of evolution and cross-pollination.
What's truly interesting, I think, to consider is how these seemingly separate events and collaborations actually reflect and influence one another.
Okay.
A popular K-drama, for example, can certainly impact fashion choices we see.
Right.
Just as a groundbreaking artistic collaboration can inspire a major fashion house to explore a new creative direction.
Totally.
It's a very complex and constantly shifting ecosystem of cultural exchange.
Yeah. Think about it. How might these collaborations and these various cultural moments be influencing each other in ways we haven't even considered yet?
Yeah.
Could a particular trend in K-pop music influence the color palettes we see in next year's cruise collections?
Right.
Or could a successful collaboration between a fashion house and a digital artist pave the way for these entirely new forms of wearable technology?
It really raises some important questions, I think, to ponder about the nature of cultural influence. How quickly do trends in one area ripple out and affect others.
Yeah.
And how do these luxury brands navigate that delicate balance between responding to the zeitgeist and setting their own distinct creative course through these strategic collaborations?
Yeah, this exploration really leaves us with a fascinating question.
Yeah.
To consider, as these boundaries continue to blur, what new and unexpected forms might these intersections take in the future?
Right.
Perhaps we'll see even more direct integration of digital art into physical fashion that you can interact with. Or maybe musicians will become the primary visionaries behind these major luxury brands, dictating everything from the clothing to the runway shows.
Wow.
The possibilities are truly endless.
They are.
And it's genuinely exciting to think about what might be coming next in this ever-evolving landscape.
Indeed. And you know, as technology continues to advance at this rapid pace, and cultural tastes keep shifting and evolving, this interplay between pop culture, luxury fashion, and the art world really promises to be a dynamic and at times unpredictable space.
Yeah.
And the kinds of collaborations that we're witnessing now might just be the initial steps towards an even more profound and integrated fusion of these powerful creative forces.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
This has been a really fascinating discussion.
Yeah, it has.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
And to all of you listening, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yes. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
See you later.
Cappuccino, white crock, mine's brewed hot, served raw. No sugar, no filter. Sip, think, repeat, repeat, repeat.